You're watching Chalk and Talk English.
Indian food can be characterized as hot and spicy. Character with the suffix ized becomes characterized, which means described or marked. The coach was fired because he didn't reach the expected levels of the club. Expect with the suffix ed becomes expected, meaning anticipated. It is unfitting for such a person to be in a high office. Fit with the prefix un and the suffix ng becomes unfitting, meaning not suitable. Mom opened the door and cautiously crept into the room. Caution with the suffix usly becomes cautiously, meaning in a careful manner. He fell behind with his payments, so they took away almost everything he had. Pay with the suffix ments becomes payments, meaning amounts of money paid. Matt quickly came to the conclusion that Jane was not telling the truth. Conclude with the suffix ion becomes conclusion, meaning the act of concluding. Although she was poor, her pride wouldn't allow her to accept any form of charity. Proud with the suffix e becomes pride, meaning a feeling of self-respect. She became the managing director of the largest company in town. Manage with the suffix ng becomes managing, meaning handling or directing. The vacuum cleaner had a faulty switch, so I sent it back. Fault with the suffix y becomes faulty, meaning having faults or defects. The patient has shown a great determination to fight off the disease. Determine with the suffix ation becomes determination, meaning the act of deciding. The two countries agreed to cooperate in certain sections of the economy. Operate with the prefix co becomes cooperate, meaning to work together. The departure of the plane was delayed again, which made us even more impatient. Patient with the prefix "I'm" becomes impatient, meaning not willing to wait. He is often ill because of his unhealthy lifestyle. Health with the prefix "un" and the suffix "y" becomes unhealthy, meaning not in good health. Freedom from poverty should be a human right. Poor with the suffix "ty" becomes poverty, meaning the state of being poor. He is unfit to be a teacher. He simply can't manage a class. Fit with the prefix "un" becomes unfit, meaning not suitable. Our success is dependent on everyone's hard work. Depend with the suffix "ent" becomes dependent, meaning relying on something. Old people are mostly afraid of loneliness. That's why they often keep a pet. Lonely with the suffix "ness" becomes loneliness, meaning the state of being alone. She dyed her hair and wore new, fashionable clothes, so she was almost unrecognizable. Recognize with the prefix "un" and the suffix "able" becomes unrecognizable, meaning not able to be recognized. There has been an argument about the ownership of the island for several decades. Own with the suffix "ership" becomes ownership, meaning the state of owning something. There is a lack of creativity in the articles she writes. They are all the same. Create with the suffix "ivity" becomes creativity, meaning the quality of being creative. Politicians hardly ever tell the truth. Politics with the suffix "ians" becomes politicians, meaning people involved in politics. Luckily, nobody was injured in the accident. Lucky with the suffix "ily" becomes luckily, meaning fortunately. The destructive force of the earthquake led hundreds of people being killed. Destroy with the suffix "ive" becomes destructive, meaning causing destruction. This tablet will enable you to access your files wherever you are. Able with the suffix able becomes enable, meaning to make able. She has received 3 marriage proposals this year. Propose with the suffix als becomes proposals, meaning plans or suggestions. The headmaster disapproved of the way his teachers talk with parents. Approve with the prefix dis and the suffix ed becomes disapproved, meaning not approved. I am normally not superstitious, but I felt bad when we saw that our hotel room was on the 13th floor. Superstition with the suffix ius becomes superstitious, meaning having belief in superstitions. A new survey shows that computers and smartphones do not weaken relationships in families. Weak with the suffix in becomes weaken, meaning to make weaker. Although chess is a very challenging sport, it can be boring sometimes. Challenge with the suffix ng becomes challenging, meaning difficult but stimulating. Karl Marx had the idea of creating a classless society. Class with the suffix less becomes classless, meaning without social class distinctions. She was asked if she was taking any medication at the moment. Medicine with the suffix ation becomes medication, meaning a substance used to treat disease. The books at that shop are so inexpensive even poor people can afford them. Expensive with the prefix in becomes inexpensive, meaning not expensive. The book costs $26 plus $5 for postage. Post with the suffix age becomes postage, meaning the cost of sending mail. It was an unknown virus that nobody had ever heard about before. Know with the prefix un becomes unknown, meaning not known. We had an unforgettable day at the beach. I'll always remember it. Forget with the prefix un and the suffix able becomes unforgettable, meaning not able to be forgotten. The judge sentenced the boy to 2 weeks of community service. Serve with the suffix ice becomes service, meaning the act of serving. We nearly died of boredom when we went to see the new opera. It was so dreadful. Boring with the suffix dom becomes boredom, meaning the state of being bored. I am so dissatisfied with your report. Surely you can do better. Satisfy with the prefix dis and the suffix ed becomes dissatisfied, meaning not satisfied. They were able to resolve the problem through careful negotiation. Negotiate with the suffix ion becomes negotiation, meaning the act of negotiating. The evidence against the 2 accused was inconclusive, so they were allowed to leave the courtroom. Conclude with the prefix in and the suffix ive becomes inconclusive, meaning not leading to a firm conclusion. The children's behavior at the party was dreadful. Behave with the suffix ire becomes behavior, meaning the way in which someone acts. A new travel agency opened for business last summer. Agent with the suffix "-i" becomes agency, meaning the state of being an agent. I don't think your demands are very reasonable. Reason with the suffix able becomes reasonable, meaning based on good sense. From the balcony we could see all the celebrities arriving in their shiny cars. Celebrate with the suffix ides becomes celebrities, meaning famous people. The authorities don't know where the terrorists got the explosives. Explode with the suffix ives becomes explosives, meaning substances that can explode. The way people dress shows the kind of personality they possess. Person with the suffix ality becomes personality, meaning the state of being a person. This is a very quiet residential neighborhood. Reside with the suffix initial becomes residential, meaning related to a residence. Accommodation will be provided for the first 2 weeks of your stay. Accommodate with the suffix ation becomes accommodation, meaning a place to stay. We underestimated the strength of their team. That's why we lost. Estimate with the prefix under and the suffix ed becomes underestimated, meaning not estimated highly enough. The plane crashed into the mountains and, unfortunately, caused several fatalities. Fortune with the prefix un and the suffix ately becomes unfortunately, meaning unluckily.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.